Hi, I'm Donatello.
And I'm Bahja. Welcome to Whitefield School BBC News Report.
British politicians continue debating whether or not the United Kingdom should remain in the European Union.
Supporters on either side have been very vocal about how a break from the EU would affect trade, immigration and jobs, as well as other aspects of everyday life.
David Cameron has come out on the side of staying in the EU, but voters will have a chance to make their opinion heard.
A referendum will take place on Thursday the 23rd of June, where voters will be able to make their mark yes or no for staying in the EU.
In music news, the unofficial fifth member of the Beatles, George Martin, has passed away at 90 years of age.
John, Paul, George and Ringo. The Beatles were one of the biggest and most popular British bands in history.
George Martin was the producer that gave them their first record contract and produced more than 700 records for the Beatles.
Martin passed away on the 9th of March 2016.
To end our look at global news, we have a rather peculiar report of a lady flying all the way from Turkey to Paris with a baby in her luggage.
The passengers were astonished when they saw the woman's bag moving. This event should have never taken place. A lack of money pressured the woman into such an act of parental cruelty.
Mother and the baby were immediately moved to the front of the plane and were arrested at Charles de Gaulle Airport.
Did the baby get arrested too?
No, just the mother. And now we pass you on to Sonia and Sarah with the local news.
Thank you, Bahja and Donatello.
I'm Sonia.
And I'm Sarah.
In local news, Whitefield School has recently put on an extraordinary performance of The Lion King, with students singing and dancing their hearts out.
The extremely talented pupils began work on the Lion King production at the start of the school year, and in total more than 40 students and staff played a part.
However, through all the hard work, they still managed to have fun. Now over to Chandrika, who recently caught up with the director and some of the cast.
Hi, I'm Chandrika and I'm here with Miss Horton, Durham and Ashanti to talk about Whitefield's most recent school production, The Lion King. So Miss Horton, tell me about your role for the production.
Well, I was the director, so it was my job to cast everybody and then sort out the scripts. And then basically run all the rehearsals, make sure everybody knew what they were doing, they were in their characters, and then I wanted it to look amazing, so just keeping on top of all the costume and everything.
Right, and how did the staff and students work together to create this fantastic play?
Well, we put in so many hours, twice a week at first, and then sort of 3 or 4 times a week towards the end, where we all just worked together so hard to make sure that it was fantastic. Just running scenes over and over again until they were amazing. Yeah.
Ashanti, I believe you played young Simba, correct?
Correct.
How was that experience for you?
It was amazing. I loved being Simba, but towards the end I found it I felt quite shy because I performed in front of about 300 students in the first play, and it was just different because I usually don't act like Simba. He's quite childish and stuff like that, and it was just different, but I loved being Simba. It was an amazing opportunity.
Good. And Durham, you played Mufasa, correct?
Yes.
How was that like for you, being a father role and all?
Being Mufasa was very interesting to play because I had to become someone somewhat different, but I tried my hardest to play the character, and then towards near the end I kind of became the character and just tried my best in front of a massive audience. Very interesting to play.
Yeah. And what was the most memorable thing from this experience?
In my opinion, it was just the teamwork and how everyone got along, and like in every break we would like all get together and just do this. We would always have fun together. It was like kind of like a family, and I don't know, through everything it was quite nice. Everyone liked each other.
You know what she said, being able to make new friends, I'd talk to people who I usually wouldn't talk to, we became like a mini family amongst us.
And I was the mum.
And Ms. Horton, what was the most memorable thing that you would take away from this experience?
I'd say the last night when I was just really overwhelmed with how amazing it had gone. I was so proud and I felt relieved. It was just a massive emotions, but mostly I was just so proud of everyone because I thought it was just the most amazing thing.
Right. And finally, what production can we expect to see next year?
We're going to steer away from big musicals, but we're going to still stay with something big and epic. So we've decided to go for Alice in Wonderland.
Interesting. Thank you guys for taking the time to speak with me today. Back to the studio.
Overall, The Lion King was a huge success, and with sellout performances every night. Some of the audience even came to see it 2 or 3 times.
What a success.
Speaking of success, Sarah, can you cook?
If you're speaking beans on toast.
Not quite. And Year 9 student Shannon can cook more than just beans on toast, and she proved it in the recent Future Chef competition.
Well, here are some more tasty details from Sally.
Hi, I'm Sally and I'm here with Shannon, and she took part in the Future Chef London regionals. So Shannon, how was that like?
You know, it was a great experience. I gained, a lot of knowledge prior to what I already knew about how the kitchen works and how I should apply different techniques to my actual cooking of the food.
So Shannon, what would you say were the worst and best parts of your experience?
Well, the best part for me was, seeing the diversity of the foods that were being made by the different schools, and also the intensity of the actual professional kitchen. But the worst experience for me was actually forgetting a main component in my dish.
Oh no.
I forgot the peas. So that kind of didn't make my sauce as good as I wanted it to be.
So speaking of food, can you tell us about the dish that you prepared?
Well, I made a chicken ballotine wrapped in Parma ham with a stuffing of cream cheese and spinach.
Very appetizing.
And that was accompanied by a sauce, a cream sauce, a white wine cream sauce with sweet peas in it. And I made for dessert a chocolate zabagalone with orange shortbread.
Very nice. Okay, so final question for you, Shannon. What is your advice for people who want to get involved with cooking and being a chef?
Well, I would say enjoy yourself because we're at a young age, so we shouldn't take not saying that we shouldn't take things seriously, but I'm sure other opportunities like this will come our way. So just enjoy the experience if you get to be involved in something like that. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Thank you to Shannon for joining us. And we'll see you next time on BBC News School Report.
Sounds delicious.
Thank you, Sally and Shannon. Now let's move on from future chefs to the future of the Brent Cross area.
Developers are planning to spend £4 billion on the area and recreate new homes, new jobs, new schools and more.
With all the talk of the upcoming regeneration of Brent Cross, we thought it would be nice to find out more about the local history.
We go now to Crystal, who is speaking with a very special guest.
I'm Crystal and I'm here with Mary Bennett, a lifetime resident of the Brent Cross area. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Miss Bennett. Can I start by asking how long you've lived in the Brent Cross area?
When I was 5.5, I came to live in what was known as the Golders Green estate. And that is the estate a little way from here. And I live in Pennine Drive.
Oh.
Now, I remember all this area when it was actually greenery. Now, I say up to the age of about 5, my brother used to bring me over here to play and that sort of thing. But you see, part of where I live used to be an aerodrome.
Oh.
And so he used to bring me down to watch the flights of the aircraft going up. All this area was taken over just before the First World War as an aeroplane industry. And so you've got industries in Cricklewood, Broadway, and they were all in making aircraft. And this one down here that was very famous, that was the Hanley Pages. Now, a lot of local people worked at Hanley Pages, but my parents brought me up never to work in a factory. Well, that wasn't so, because during our Second World War, I had to go into a factory, and that was that. But at the age of nearly 5, I was very, very frightened. You see, where the post office in Claremont Road is, well, that used to be the hangars for the aircraft. And they used to wheel them out and turn right with them, and then they used to drive up and go over the top, you see, and take to the air. Well, the runway, the famous runway, the first one that they had, is Pennine Drive. And the builder that built all those houses, it was a boon to him because he didn't have to build any roads for his lorries to go out and bring all the bricks, you see. So that was it. That was my first encounter with an aircraft factory, or an aircraft, let's say that. And it worried me sick. I used to scream. But my mother never knew that my brother used to bring me. Well, of course, as he got older and the Second World War came, he joined the Air Force anyway and became an air gunner. But that's, of course, another episode of my life, as it were, you know. But we did everything as children, all sorts of things. I went to Wessex Gardens School, which was not a primary school then. You could go there till you were the age of 14, which I did. In the first day I went to school, I was 5 years of age, and I wasn't worried about it. My mother knew some of the teachers there, because she'd all been to the church with them, you see. And so I couldn't understand that day I went, because in the afternoon when we went back, we had 2 hours for school, you know, for lunch. And when I went back, of course, we'd only been there about half an hour, I suppose. And they said, now fold your arms, put your head on the desk and go to sleep. And I thought, well, I didn't come to school to go to sleep. And I just could not understand it. Having to sleep every afternoon for about half an hour. I wasn't used to that as a child. I thought that was terrible. But never mind, I got on with it. I had to, didn't I?
What do you think has been the most significant change in the area?
The loss of the football club, I would say.
Oh, where was
yes, that was just recently. They're all building things in Claremont Road, aren't they? Houses opposite these council houses and that sort of thing. They're doing that. The football club was one of our traditions. In actual fact, Hendon Football Club originated in West Hampstead. It was the Hampstead Athletic Club that did all the football, and then they wanted another ground, so they came up into Claremont Road, and Claremont Road only was a track in those days, and they came up there and they bought ground there to start a football club, and it was a long time before it actually became Hendon. Now, I know all that by the fact that I wear one of the medals that was won by the Hampstead Football Club. And I wear that. It belonged to my uncle, and he was killed in the First World War. There we are, dear. That's his medal. The fact that he has a gold medal means that they won the match that year.
Okay.
And of course they all went over to Wembley you see. But that is the significant change in the area, I would say, a traditional thing taken out of all complex. And that really annoyed me.
It must be quite
It really
sad.
did.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not actually a terrific football fan, but my brother brought me up as a tomboy, and he was a great sports lover and was very good at it.
What are your thoughts on the plans to regenerate Brent Cross?
I don't like to express how I feel about that, really, because I feel too strongly about it. I really do. I think some things are good. This bridge that they're going to cross over from Edgware Road over here and build a station, another station. But years ago there used to be a station, and they called it the Welsh Heart Station in those days. But I think that it would be a good idea to have another station there. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming to speak with us today, and Mrs. Bennett, and for sharing your thoughts on living in Brent Cross. Well, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Very welcome indeed.
Thank you to Crystal, and a special thank you to Mary.
Well, that's it for local news. We'll pass you over to Michael and Jamali with sports.
Thank you, Sonia and Sorry, for that interesting local news. Hello everyone, my name is Jamali and this is Michael, and today we're going to bring you the sports news.
Gamze Bulla, a Turkish runner, has been suspended after a doping allegation and has been stripped of her gold medal. Reports were found that she had abnormalities in her blood samples from 2011, 2012 and 2013.
Safo Antwi is no longer competing for the Great Britain as he switched to Ghana. The 25-year-old won the 60 metres at Glasgow Indoor Grand Prix and finished third at the British Indoor Championship in February.
Now sadness for the Chelsea fans as Zlatan strikes again. PSG built on their 2-1 lead from the first leg when Ibrahimovic crossed perfectly for Adrian Rabiot to score from close range after 16 minutes. The visitors, who knocked Chelsea out on away goals rule at this stage last season, ended the night in total control.
Also after the game, the Chelsea manager said the team showed too much respect toward PSG.
Now to the inside news. Whitefield School is on a roll with both the Year 9 and 8 football teams going into the finals. The Year 8 football team won 3-1 and the Year 9s went through 1-0.
Luckily, Ishmael was able to get an interview with a couple of Year 9 players ahead of the cup final on Monday.
Hi, I'm Ishmael and I'm here with the two of Whitefield Year 9 football finalists. So, Hassan, you're in the final of the cup. How did it feel when you won the semis?
It felt great, you know. It felt good. We had some hardships, but we went through it and we won.
Thank you for that. So, how are you feeling about the finals?
I'm feeling positive. I think we're going to win it because the way we've been playing, we've improved a lot and we're definitely going to win. That's what I think.
Thank you. Fillmore, so what do you think you're going to do to prepare for this?
Well, I think we need to do is carry on playing how we are in the previous games. So like passing, keeping the ball together, working as a team, quick play, counter-attacks and everything, and then it should be an easy work in the finals.
So are you confident that you're going to get a result in the finals?
Oh, definitely. There's no reason why we should lose.
Yeah.
Well, here we have two confident football players, and sooner or later we will get the results. Thank you. This is Ishmael from Whitefield.
Thank you, Ishmael. That's it for sports news. And back to Barhaja and Donatello.
Thank you, Michael and Jamali, for that look at sports.
And now we go to Beth with 3 very lucky girls who got to meet
Demi Lovato!
I'm Beth and I'm here with Chandrika, Jamie and Sydney. You 3 were lucky enough to meet Demi Lovato last year in the BBC school run. Take me back to that day. What was going through your mind before Demi got in the car? What did you think was happening?
Well, what we were told was that we were going to the town hall and we were taking a taxi there, which we thought was kind of unusual because we have like 5 minivans, so it was kind of weird taking a taxi. So we walk towards like the curb of the school and then we get in the car and it's just full of cameras, and it was really, really weird because it was like on the ceiling and on the desk board thingy, and yeah, it was just everywhere. And then all of a sudden she just walks in the car and we're like, oh, what's going on now? You know.
What did you think?
It was weird. It was weird. Did you know already? Did you know already? No.
All right, here we go.
What was your reaction when you realised that Demi freaking Lovato was about to drive you home?
It was like, oh my god, because we've been fan of hers for years, and I've wanted to see her like ages. So,
how has your life changed since your brush with fame?
you know, it's been hard. I've just been under the paparazzi so often. You know, everyone asks me, oh my god, was that you with her? It's like, I know, just, it was, but I need space, you know. It's really hard. It's really hard.
I understand.
How was that?
Good, really good.
Do you know what I was watching in that car up there, and what was really funny was
What?
when you got in, all your faces, like before you got in, they were like, what is going on? There's cameras in here, there's a mic in here, they were like, and then when you got in, they were like, silent.
I know.
It was really funny.
And I saw her and I was like, is it cool if I drive you? She goes, okay. And then I took off the glasses and she was like,
Has anyone stopped you in the street for an autograph or a selfie?
This one time, I was walking to Brent Cross, and this weird guy asked me for an autograph, and I had to call for security.
Thank you all for taking the time to speak with me today. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Beth, Jamie, Chandrika and Sydney.
This is Whitefield School BBC News Reports.
Thank you all for watching.